Yo, what up, my Shadow enemies? It is I, Shadow Critias, back again with another My Hero Academia What If video. So, this is part 1 of What If Shadow Critias was in My Hero Academia. Before continuing on, this is about my OC My Hero Academia that I created, and you guys will find out what his name is. For those people who know his name, you guys already know who. For the new people who may not know, you guys will find out who his name is in the video, and also let you guys know. You guys are gonna fucking regret for voting in the first place that you guys want to see this way earlier. So, yeah, I'm not gonna waste any more time. Let's just go ahead and get to this scenario. It's nighttime at the Japan of My Hero Academia, where we enter the house of the Genzo family, where we see the man with black hair sitting like menacing, quietly alone. Right next to him is a white-haired, beautiful woman right next to him, and his wife says, "My love, is something wrong? What's in your mind? You've been quiet all of a sudden." And her husband snaps out of it, and he said, "Oh, it's nothing, Maya. I'm just thinking about and a bit worried about our son." And Mira replied, asked, "Is it because his quirk, Draco?" And Draco, as she replied to answer her question, he said, "Yeah, I worry about which kind of quirk he will have. Yours, mine, or maybe both. I don't know. I'm just a bit worried." And his wife just leaned her head to his shoulder and said, "It'll be fine, sweet, my love. We could handle this together. We could do this. We're a team, are we?" And Draco leaves his head on her head, and he says, "Of course, my love, we'll do this together." And of course, they hear a young child calls out, "Mommy, Daddy," and they both look up and see a young boy with red eye and a long spiky hair and a bit sleepy and just woke up from his sleep. And this is Ryu Genzo. Yep, that's his name, Ryu Genzo. And the mother says, "Ryu, sweetheart, what are you up? It's so late. You should be back to sleep." And Ryu was like, "I'm sorry, Mom. It's just my stomach. I just have this weird feeling. I don't know what's wrong with me." And Maya gets up and go to her son and try to pick him up. And she said, "Oh, my little baby dragon boy. Is he having a little bit of stomach ache?" And the boy just nodded and said, like, "Mm-hmm. But it felt more than that. Like, come here, sweetie. Mommy will help you with that." And before she started picking him up, his body, he falls on the floor, shaking fiercely. Both the mother and the father are losing their mind. They're freaking out. They're panicking. Their son is losing control of his body. He can't fight back. And his body grows bigger and bigger. Wings pops out. His hands turn into leg. And all of them turn to sharp claws. His body turns like an animalistic form. And not only the roof has half of the house been destroyed, show a mass of type of element dragon, both a mix of shadow, fire, smoke, wind, and lightning. The monster roars like a demon from hell, and the parents are shocked in horror that their son just unlocked their transformation quirk way earlier at such a young age. And he's just only 3 years old when he unlocked this power. And this is just too soon. And he cannot control it. And their parents can't do nothing about it because the mother lost her leg during the battle years ago. And the father even lost his eye during the battle as well in the same year. So the mother can't do nothing but sit there and watch while the father wants to help, but he doesn't want to hurt his son. But they just stood there, don't know what to do. And the dragon sees its prayer, ready to go for the kill. And then the dragon roars and attacks the prey. And then everything went black. Few later has been passed of that incident. We see a boy wearing all black hooded jacket, not even have a hoodie on his head. similar hairstyle with red eye, but having glasses, just sitting in the couch, eating his breakfast, and watching the news about these pro heroes took out the villain that just caused robbing and bang, etc. And of course, another than that is Ryu Genzo at the age of 17. After the day incident, he actually managed control of his own quirk, which is element, but he hasn't control the monster, the beast inside of him, and that's one thing he is feared of. And we get a little bit of flashback. We're at the alleyway where the young 3-year-old Ryu Genzo running away in the alley, hiding. She is freaked out, scared, crying out. He just realized what he just done. He killed his parents. Not only that, he ate them. He ate them. He is scared. He doesn't know what to do. He's afraid. He doesn't have anyone who could help him. He cries out so much until someone comes in and says, "Hey kid, what are you doing out here? It's dangerous out here." And the kid looks up and see a man covered up with all different types of knives, a sword behind his back, covered up with armor and a bunch of ribbon and robes of red and colors of red and tin. And of course, is none other than the hero killer Stain. And the hero killer Stain said, "Well, what are you doing here? It's dangerous out here, kid. Go home." I can't. I don't have a home. My parents, they're dead because of me. Like, what happened? I lost control. I killed them. And this shock, this actually surprised and at the same time shocked the hero killer Stain. And he recognized the eye color of his eye, or of Genzo's eye. And he said, "Wait, is your father named Draco Genzo?" And Ryu just can't say a word, just nodded. And he says, "So you're the son of the Leviathan? Huh. Who knew the Dragon Lord, the villain Leviathan, died by such a young child that used to be, who is actually his own flesh and blood, and also doesn't have a control of his own power that he just awakened." And the child said, "What should I do? I don't know what should do." And Stain offered the child's hand, and he said, "Come with me. I'll help you to control your power, if you're willing to take the chance or trust, if you want to be my apprentice, to be my sidekick." And he has nowhere else to go, plus he doesn't know anyone could help him with this power. So he offered Stain's hand, and then Stain took him under his wing, teach him how to control his power. Not only that, he couldn't even control his dragon quirk, his transformation quirk, but he did control his element quirk. So that's the only thing he could done. But after the training, he was found by the pro heroes and the taking. So they took Ryu away at the age of 10. At the age of 10, and he lived one of his guardian that he lives at right now in the present timeline, because Stain abandoned him, and he will never forget that day. We're back in the present time where Ryu is still looking at the TV and still eating and not even paying attention until he didn't even hear someone calling his name multiple times until he hear, "Ryu Genzo, hurry the hell up, you're late for school." And the person walked up to him, and that is his auntie, Ryuko, also known as the number 10 hero, the dragon hero, Ryuku. And Ryu looks up and said, "Sorry, auntie. Sorry, I was in my train of thought again." And his auntie just rolled her eyes like, "You and your excuse. You do this all this time. Come on, you're late for school." And Ryu just said, "Fine, alright. So Ryu gets up and gets his stuff and heads on out and heads down to his school. And of course his auntie says, "Stay out of trouble, okay?" And Ryu's like, "I will, okay, oh, jeez." In his class, he's just sitting at his desk minding his own business, and no one don't even want to be around with him or talk to him. He's not good with open mind and to be with other people after, well, that incident, and the past still haunts him to this day. He doesn't know any of these kids in his class, but he's been in this school for several years since he was the age of 10. Since he been in middle school for the beginning, so pretty much right now in this timeline he's in his junior high. So he's just minding his business until he hears some of the students talk about this girl who started going killing rampage and started drinking people's blood, and she really enjoyed it. And they're trying to stay away from her, but she keeps thinking about blood so much. And Ryu was wondering what was this all about, so he steps out and head down to see what the problem is. And he goes down the alleyway in the hallway and see a girl wearing the school dress, and a blonde haired girl just drinking the blood with a straw that she just broke a kid's arm and cut him by drinking his blood. And Ryu's mind is like, is that Himiko Toga from another classroom? And we hear Toga say, "It's so good." And Toga turns her head and sees Ryu standing there, not even flinching or be feared of or anything like that. And Toga's like, "Oh, more blood to spare. Let me have some of your blood. Don't fight back." And Ryu just stands there not doing anything. He just decided to just walk to her, and this surprisingly, it's confused Toga, and also surprised and freaking out. Ryu just walked to her, and all the students like, "What are you doing? Don't get in there. She's crazy. She'll drink your blood. Like, she's psycho." And he just ignores them, and he gets down on his knees and lifts up his sleeve and offer her his arm. And this actually confused Toga, and she's like, and she didn't know what to say. And Ryu said, "Just go ahead and drink my blood." And Toga just used the knife that she had and cut his wrist and started drinking the blood. And everyone is shocked and horror that he just let her do it, and he's not phasing by this. And during his training with Stain back in the day, he could take the pain, a bunch of cut marks and everything like that, so he could take the pain. And Ryu decided, "Why you been acting this way? You can't control your own quirk either?" And this caught Toga by surprise, so she stopped drinking his blood. And Toga said, "First I thought that was a good blood. Oh, and yeah, I can't control my own quirk because of my bloodlust. No one don't want to help me, not even my own parents. Everyone pushed me away because they want nothing to deal with me. I don't know who else will help me. I have no one else." And this brings back memories what Ryu said when he was the age of 3, when he met Stain in the alleyway outside of the city. So all the training and lesson that he learned for Stain all these years, he actually might use his lesson for Stain to help someone who cannot control his quirk, control anyone who haven't controlled their quirk. So he asked, "Do you need someone to teach you with your quirk, to control your quirk? I'll help you with that." And this actually excites Toga. She's like, "Really? You would help me? No one really actually asked for me or be there for me. I don't know what else to say. Thank you. That means a lot to me. And Ryu said, don't push your luck. I'm doing it because it's the right thing. If these dumb bozo-looking motherfuckers are just gonna stand there being like a bunch of bitches and being cowards, they would have been doing the same thing I'm doing right now. And all the students, like, just shocked and pissed, and they was like, who the hell he's calling a bitch? Who the fuck is he talking to? And Ryu turned his back to them, giving that pissed off look where the fire comes out of his mouth like a dragon. And they both just backed the fuck up, and then because he could hear them what they're saying. And so, and Toga's like, so when should we start? Controlling my quirk. And Ryu said, how about this coming Friday after class? Maybe tomorrow after class? That could work. And Toga said, yeah, I can work with that. I said, well, that's good. Oh, before you leave, can we be friends? Hey, yeah, I will like that. And of course, the friend between Ryu and Toga began, and so yeah. After that, the school ends, and Ryu heads back to his home. When Ryu arrived home, he calls out, "Auntie, I'm home from school. You're home?" I guess she's not home. Whatever. And he sees a note on the front door when he walked inside, and he reads and says, "Ryu, I'll be gone for the day. I'm doing some pro hero patrol with some of the pro heroes. I won't be back until tomorrow. And make sure you eat well, and make sure you do your homework, and also don't stay up too late, because you don't need to miss class again. Sincerely, Auntie Ryuko." She always have to look after me. I can take care of myself. Jeez. And of course, he goes to the refrigerator, gets something to eat, and it's like, man, there's really nothing good food in this damn house. And after he slams the refrigerator, he hears a loud thud from the side of the refrigerator, and he's like, the hell? So he sees something in there. He grabs it, and he reached it, grabbed it, and pulls out a suitcase, a black suitcase, behind the refrigerator, like almost behind the refrigerator, but not even close. And it has a note atop taped up and says, "For Ryu Genzo." And Ryu's like, "This is for me?" So he takes it and sits in the living room table, and he started opening it, and he sees all bunch of papers, files, and everything about, well, whatever he could find. And not only that, some of these are information about his father, his mother, and anything else. So he went in deep to get to know about his parents, because he never knew much about his parents since that incident. So he decided to look after his father, and he didn't believe Stain was his father was a villain, but it's true. His father was a villain, because he found the info of his father that teamed up with Stain. Hell, he even found the picture of his father with Stain, fired alongside back in the day as a villain. And on that, he finds out that the battle where he lost his eye back in his final battle, he fought alongside with the number one hero, All Might, along with his mother, fighting against this villain named All For One. And and not only that, there's actually research that his father just made and hid it away, that even his own Ryuko didn't know that Draco left it there. And keep this in mind, Draco and Ryuko are blood related, so that's the reason why. Okay, just there you go. And then not only that, he learned about more about his father, learned things about the villain that he used to work with, and not only that, he actually knows about All For One, all the villains have the quirks back in the day before the heroes even exist. And not only that, his father actually analyzed about All Might's quirk, which is called, and he says, One for All? And it says, this quirk has been passed on after generation after generation. It is stated that this quirk was passed on to All Might by the last user of One for All, Nana Shigaraki. Wait, what that name sound familiar? I don't know, but that name sounds familiar. I don't know why. And he found out that All Might was quirkless? But that can't be. How can he be quirkless if he has a quirk? That doesn't make no sense. After he get done looking at all of his father's information, he is infuriated that his father was a villain the entire time and Stain was right all along. And now he didn't feel regret for killing his father now. And then he sees a picture of his mother. The same outfit that I saw before he was the age of 3. And Ryu says, Mother? And tears started to come down from his eye. He's like, no, I can't think about it. I just can't. And when he lay down the picture, he sees information about his mother, and he finds out that his mother was a pro hero. And this shocks him that his father was a villain, and his mother is a hero? Is that even allowed in the hero society? Is that even possible? And not only that, he found out more information about his mother, his quirk, and not only that, his father as well. Forgot to mention that as well. And then he finds out her family history, that his mother was adopted to Ray's family. And not only that, now he realized that he has another auntie named Rei Todoroki. And that Todoroki, wait a minute. He grabbed his laptop out of his bag, started looking up at the Todoroki name, and he looks it up, and the name Todoroki is the family name, and the father of it is the number 2 hero, Endeavor. His uncle is the number 2 hero, Endeavor? And not only that, he actually finds out that both Endeavor and both Endeavor and Ray had 4 children. Toya Todoroki, Natsu Todoroki, Furumi Todoroki, and of course, Shoto Todoroki. He has 4 cousins. And he wants to know about his cousin until he looks at his older cousin, Toya Todoroki. And it is stated that Toya Todoroki died by burning himself with his own quirk, and said that he is upset to be Endeavor's successor. Rumors, they couldn't find the body. Some people said that he might survive the burning of his own quirk, or his body might turn into ashes. Plus, and on that, he found out that his auntie Ray is at the infirmary hospital for something that she has done to Shoto Todoroki, gave him a scar birthmark. And And some say that she went on a mental breakdown. And there's been rumors says that Endeavor is a terrible person and a terrible hero, and to everyone's point of view. And now he feel like, in his mind, and now he's have a house by himself, he says, what kind of sick fuck is my family is? What the hell is going on with my life? My father is a villain. My auntie and my mother are the pro heroes. My other auntie married a freaking villain, married a hero who doesn't care about anyone but himself. My older cousin died, and now I have other 3 cousins who are traumatized and to deal with this kind of bullshit. And I thought I had the rough time of my life. Huh. And I bet they did not know I even exist. I bet they did not know they have a cousin. Literally. God damn, what the hell, man? What the hell is going on around here? What is my life is just a piece of shit. Ugh. I need to go ahead and go to bed. I'm just not in the mood. Maybe I could watch a little bit of TV here and there. And when he pressed the TV and turned on the news, and of course he does hear the news about the sludge villain attacking and Cap Hodges of a young blonde-haired boy who have a quirk of an explosion, and of course a young green boy rushed in to save that boy, and this actually caught Ryu is surprised that a young kid actually rushed into action, risking his own life to save a kid from the sludge villain. And the pro hero are just standing there not doing anything. And that kid has the guts and balls to do something about it. And that's actually caught him interested of the boy. And he says, that boy has some guts. Maybe this kid has a bright future to become a pro hero one day. But these damn heroes and villains, they can't do nothing right around here. What do I feel like I have to do everything myself? And light bulb just hits. And he knows what he wants to do. He realized that his parents were a hero and villain. He wants to become more than just those two. He wants to be more than just a hero or villain or a vigilante. He wants to go to the UA to be the first anti-hero and show the world that if they need to bring peace and justice, the villain needs to be wiped out from the existence. How can we have peace if the villain are still out there attacking, causing chaos and destruction? If All Might might be the symbol of peace, why all these villains are still alive? How can we have peace if the villains are still around? So he knows what he needs to do. So he turns on the TV and starts head down to take a shower and head down to bed, and he says, "Oh, I have a long day. A long day." The next day in class today, which is Friday, and he's just ready to get out of this class so he can teach Toga how to control his quirk. But she hasn't been showed him in school recently. Is she out there waiting for him? If she didn't show him school today? What the hell is going on? He's a bit worried because even though him and her became friends yesterday, he's starting to have a bit worry about her already for all of a sudden. So he thinks maybe Toga is not in the mood to come to school? Maybe? I don't know. And I'm just going to time skip because the school has in it, so he decided to go and head down to, Toga's place to see if she's home. If she is home, actually. When he arrived at Toga's place, he rings the bell and knocks the door, and a woman opens the door and sees Ryu, and she said, can I help you all of a sudden? And Ryu's like, yes, you're Miss Toga, right? Himiko's mother? And she's like, yeah? How do you know that? Well, I'm a friend of your daughter, and I was wondering if she's home or not, because she hasn't been showed up at school. Is everything alright? It's like, I'm sorry, you have to leave. I was like, is everything okay? Is she there? She doesn't live here no more. Go, before I call the cops. And she slams the door in his face and locked the door when she closed the door. And Ryu was like, what the fuck was that all about? She doesn't live here no more? What the hell's going on? I was like, Toga, where the hell are you? So he runs off and trying to find her. He goes to the underworld and trying to find Toga and try to call her name. Himiko! Himiko! Where are you? Where are you? You haven't shown him at school. Are we still doing help? Are we still planning to control your quarter or what? Where are you? And a person coming from behind in the shadow, and the man speak. What do you even do here, kiddo? And he turns around and he knows that familiar voice. It's a long time no see, Stain. And Stain showed out of the shadow and said, well, it's been a long time, hasn't it, kiddo? You got grown the last time I saw you. What are you doing here? And Ryu said, I'm looking for my friend, Himiko Toga. Have you seen her? And Stain's like, no, I haven't. Why do a child will be here anyway? I don't know. This is the only place I can think of, honestly. Why are you here? I decided to lay low and start to travel at night from now on. Are you here to combat and be my sidekick again? And Ryu get pissed off and say, hell no. After what you did those years ago, by abandoning me? Hell no. Fuck you. You still having the same anger issue like your old man. Don't you dare talk about him. You're right. My father was a villain. I didn't believe it, but now I do. And they, oh? How so? My father left a bunch of information about him and about my mother, everything, at my auntie's place. He's hiding it all this time for me to find it. Cannot believe this. How? Is that even legal? About a hero and villain to have a romance relationship? Is that even legal around here? And Stain's like, no, it's not. It is illegal. Well, technically back then it was, but now it's actually a law now. If any hero or villain started upon a relationship, they might be locked away for good. That's the reason why it happened. But how they didn't get caught all these years ago? Because they've been well hidden. Because it was your mother's idea. They did it so they could hide their relationship and their marriage. And they did it for your protection. How the hell do you know that? Because your father told me about it, you idiot. Jeez. I know your father from the get-go. I know him since we were a child. What? You didn't read the damn information that me and him were childhood best friends? No, I didn't. Because I didn't care. But of course you didn't. You're literally just like your own man. Always doesn't care about anyone but yourself. Always care about your pride. That's not it, you moron. Jeez, I'm not like my father. Yeah, I may have his anger issue, but doesn't mean I'm all just like him. Jeez. I need to get the hell out of here before I started causing problems. It's good to see you again, Master. Likewise, Apprentice. So both Stain and Ryu gone their separate ways. Ryu walks in the house and his auntie sees him and says, Ryu, where the hell have you been? I was worried sick about you. And Ryu just ignored, just heads down to his room, and she said, Ryu? Like, Ryu's like, I'm not in the mood, Auntie. Leave me be. And he goes to his room, slams the door, and locks it. He lays down in his bed, and he's angry, and he starts to cry. He's never going to find his best friend. He considered her as a best friend. He doesn't know where she is. Now he just made a one friend that he had, and now she just disappeared. He can't find her. He tried. For the past several months or so, he tried to find her, and nothing. He tried to go everywhere around the city and couldn't find her. He gave up. He decided to just give up and move on, like it was nothing. Now he's back where he used to be, being a loner, with no friends at all. And of course, he does go back to his training, get back to his fighting skill. He haven't done training since, well, since a while now. The only time he has free time for his training, if he doesn't do anything about the house or even school bullshit. So yeah, that's pretty much what he's been doing whenever he has his free time, honestly. The next day in class, which is Saturday at this point, everyone are just chatting and sitting on their desks, just, minding their whole business. Where Ryu is looking at the window and looks down, fall down to the stream, looking at the cut mark that he had, that Toga did by drinking his blood. He just can't help it but sigh and sadness. Until the teacher walked in and said, Alright kid, it's time to form the paperwork of which next school you guys will go to the end of this year. And he's like, oh, what the hell, we all know you guys want to be a pro heroes anyway. So he just throws the papers in the air like it just don't care. And of course everyone just cheering, etc. And after that, all the students just write it down which school they will go in. And until the teacher picked up all the paper and looks all of it and sees one paper and said, oh, so we had one student who is want to go to UA High, and this actually surprised him, and he said, young Ryu Genzo, and everyone shocked and turns around, and they think, like, him being a pro hero? I mean, him being a hero? They were shocked and confused, like, he wants to be a pro hero? And Ryu was like, what? Is that a problem for being going to go to UA High to become a pro hero? Is that a bad thing? And they were like, no. They just turn around and just mind their business, and they just like, well then, I wish you the best of luck, young Ryu Genzo. And we all know you might get higher recommended because of your auntie, which is the number 10 hero. And Ryu was like, yeah, probably, but whatever. So we're gonna like time skip to the end of the school, and Ryu just heads back home. Ryu only has 10 months for the first day of UA, since he doesn't have to do the exam test, since he's gonna be highly recommended because of his auntie being the number 10 hero. So he doesn't need to worry about taking the exam test. And correct me if I'm wrong, do they have like special training or something like that? Correct me if I'm wrong. If not, then I'm just gonna move on that. Because in the show, Momo and Todoroki been highly recommended, and they haven't show how they did their tests with a special trainer or something like that. But I'm just gonna go with just like the original. So Ryu has been training of his fighting skill and his core for the past 10 months until the end of that 10 months has been passed, and now the next day. And that is where I'm going to end this part here, and well, I literally have nothing else to say to talk about at this point, but Hope you guys enjoying the video. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Links to my social media, my Discord server, my GoFundMe page will all be down below. Script where you get no joke with all that shenanigans. Again, like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Kneeled before I shot a Critias. I'll see you guys later.